In 1978, Volvo gambled 16 billion kroner on a radical idea. Could one car truly set a new standard for family safety, space, and excitement? The result would challenge every rival and change what families expected from a car forever. At the start, almost nothing about the plan made sense. The stakes for getting it wrong were enormous. So how did Volvo dare to build the perfect family car? Volvo's leadership gathered in 1978, staring down a crossroads that would define the company's future. The world was changing fast, with rising fuel prices, new safety expectations, and fierce competition from Germany and Japan leaving no room for half measures. Instead of tweaking what already worked, the board approved a plan so ambitious it was named Project Galaxy, a nod to its sky-high goals. The commitment was staggering: 16 billion Swedish kroner, the largest industrial investment Sweden had ever seen. At stake was more than just money. If the new car failed, Volvo risked its reputation, its independence, and even its ability to survive. The financial risk shaped every decision that followed. Executives knew that a single misstep in engineering, design, or market fit could push the company into crisis. Years of research and development began, stretching from the late 1970s through the 1980s. The project's scale was unprecedented, with 2 new platforms, a modular engine family, and a completely reimagined manufacturing process. Factories in Ghent and Skövde were retooled. Suppliers were pressed to deliver new technology on time and at cost. Delays and near cancellations haunted the boardroom, especially in 1985, when costs threatened to spiral out of control. Only after seeing the radical design proposals did the board decide to press on. By the time the car debuted in June 1991, over a decade had passed since that first meeting. The cost, nearly 16 billion kroner, was a bet on a future that looked nothing like Volvo's past. This was not just another model, but a leap into uncharted territory, with everything riding on its success. Volvo's new direction became obvious the moment the 850 appeared. Instead of the familiar rear-wheel drive layout, engineers placed a 5-cylinder engine sideways across the front, powering the front wheels. This wasn't just a technical curiosity. It unlocked a roomier cabin, a flatter floor, and more flexible cargo space, especially in the wagon. The Delta Link rear axle, another innovation, blended the comfort of independent suspension with the strength of a solid axle. The result was a car that handled winding roads with confidence, but still carried bulky family gear without complaint. In the early 1990s, most family cars stuck to tradition. The BMW 3 Series and Mercedes C-Class kept their engines and gearboxes running front to back, sacrificing interior space for driving feel. Japanese rivals like the Toyota Camry and Honda Accord offered front-wheel drive, but they rarely matched the 850's combination of cargo volume and on-road stability. The 850 wagon's load bay dwarfed the Camry's trunk, and its flat folding rear seats made it simple to haul strollers, bikes, or even a washing machine. Against the Ford Taurus wagon, the Volvo felt more refined, with better materials and a stronger safety reputation. Volvo didn't just chase numbers. The 850's size landed squarely between compact and mid-size sedans, threading a gap that let it stand out. It offered the maneuverability of a smaller car, but with a cargo hold that rivaled much larger wagons. Every detail, from the 3-shaft transmission's compactness to the Delta Link axle's clever packaging, was designed to make family life easier, without giving up the solid, reassuring feel that defined the brand. In 1991, Volvo introduced a structural breakthrough that would redefine side impact safety. The Side Impact Protection System, called SIPS, was more than just a set of reinforcements. It was a holistic engineering response to a deadly problem. Traditional cars relied on door beams to resist side crashes, but those beams could only do so much when struck by another vehicle at speed. Volvo engineers, drawing on decades of crash data, realized that spreading the impact force was the key to saving lives. They started with the body shell. The sills, the long horizontal structures beneath the doors, were thickened and strengthened, forming a rigid backbone along each side of the car. The B-pillars, the vertical posts between the front and rear doors, became multi-layered steel towers, anchored to both the roof and the floor with high-strength cross members. When a side impact occurred, These elements worked together to channel the energy away from the cabin, distributing force through the entire lower and upper structure rather than letting it concentrate in a single spot. Inside the doors, honeycomb inserts absorbed and dispersed additional energy, while under the seats, transverse beams tied both sides of the car together like a bridge. Even the center console played a role, acting as a structural box to prevent the cabin from collapsing inward. Every detail was tested at the Volvo Safety Center. Engineers predicted that this approach would cut serious chest injuries and side impacts by half compared to previous designs. With SIPS, the 850 set a new standard, not just for Volvo, but for the entire industry, making side protection a fundamental part of family car design. In the early 1990s, car safety was still a patchwork of national rules and voluntary industry standards. Crash tests existed, but there was no unified European benchmark. Volvo, unwilling to wait for regulators, ran its own demanding in-house tests at the Volvo Safety Center in Gothenburg. Engineers pored over real-world accident data, searching for new ways to shield drivers and passengers from harm. In autumn 1994, Volvo introduced a world first: the side impact airbag fitted directly into the seat of the 850. This wasn't just a new gadget, it was a leap forward in how cars protected people from one of the most dangerous types of collisions. While most manufacturers relied on reinforced doors or basic beams, Volvo's approach combined the side impact protection structure called SIPS with this new airbag, offering a double layer of protection for the torso in a side crash. At that time, airbags themselves were still a novelty. Many family cars in Europe and North America did not even have a passenger airbag, let alone one for side impacts. Volvo's decision to make this technology available before any legal requirement spoke volumes about its priorities. The 850's seat-mounted side airbag arrived nearly 3 years before the first Euro NCAP crash tests in 1997. This put Volvo far ahead of the curve, setting a safety standard that competitors would scramble to match. In an era when most safety claims were marketing slogans, Volvo's in-house data and real-world testing gave families something more concrete: a car designed to protect them even when no one was watching. The result was a reputation for safety that was not just earned in the laboratory, but proven on the road. The wagon version of the Volvo 850, launched in February 1993, quickly became a fixture in driveways and parking lots across Europe and North America. With its long, flat cargo bay and low loading floor, it handled everything from camping gear to a week's worth of groceries. Fold the rear seats flat, and the space opened up to swallow bicycles, furniture, or even a family dog crate. No creative packing required. Over 326,000 estates were built, many of which are still seen on the road today, a testament to their durability. Owners talk about original gearboxes running smoothly past 200,000 miles, and body panels that resist rust even after years of salted winter roads. The 3-shaft manual gearbox, compact and nearly maintenance-free, rarely needed more than a clutch. For families, the 850 wagon wasn't just a car, it was the reliable backdrop to everyday life, built to take whatever came its way. Enthusiasts found something unexpected in the Volvo 850 lineup: real performance. The turbocharged T5 arrived with 222 horsepower, transforming the family wagon into a genuine sports contender. For those craving even more, the T5R and later the 850R pushed output to nearly 240 horsepower, making them some of the fastest wagons on the road. Acceleration rivaled that of dedicated sports sedans, but with room for 5 and all their luggage. Volvo's racing ambitions went public in 1994, when the 850 estate thundered onto the British Touring Car Championship grid, an unlikely sight that captured headlines and proved the car's engineering could handle the track as well as the school run. The 850's performance options made it more than practical. They made it exciting. Decades later, car buyers still cite safety and practicality as top priorities, yet few models set new benchmarks. The 850's legacy shapes every family vehicle today, reminding us that innovation isn't just about power or style. It's about who gets home safely. What's your idea of perfection? Let's discuss.